back to Emmeline Darlene. My name is Christy. I'm her daughter if you haven't met me. And today I am back with another set of amazing letters from my great aunt and great uncle Jimmy and Pat Metters. I know you're going to love them. They met right during World War II in 1942, and they have been pen pals for a few months at this point, and things are just starting to, get a little bit more romantic and sweet. So I hope you enjoy, and I'll see you after the letters. May 12th, 1942. Dear Jimmy, again, Monday was made complete by a letter from a certain someone who seems like a lifelong friend. There are no blue Mondays since he came into my life. I'm so glad that my letters mean so much to you because I feel that our life should be spent in making someone else happy as well as ourselves. I think our meeting would make our friendship so complete that nothing could change it. I know that I couldn't be disappointed because Evelyn has given me such a beautiful picture of your character and disposition, and also your picture tells a lot. By the way, I'm supposed to get an 8x10 picture the 15th, but if that is too large, I'll get another in 2 weeks. It takes them that long to get them completed after you get the proofs. Please write me in the next letter which will be more suitable. If the smaller one is better when you are out of service again, I'll have a larger one made for your room, just for you. I'm glad that you get out and enjoy life a bit. I would love to have gone fishing with you. However, not so much of my time has been taken up with fishing and hunting. I have always been too afraid of gross out. I'd love to overcome that fear. I think you would make a perfect father by now. You seem to be so fond of children that you get along with them grand. Besides, if you had a son, he couldn't be anything but like you wanted him. That is, if the mother were congruent and good too. However, maybe time will tell. I'm so sorry you didn't get my card. On Sunday, I wrote you a card asking for your mother's address, and Evelyn mailed it Monday a.m. It probably was lost. However, it doesn't matter a lot now. I'd love to meet your family because those things that are old-fashioned are really the basic principles for a true character. Those things are what really matter, more than wealth or money. My parents, too, are typical old-fashioned country people, but they are as honest and true as the day is long. They can never say they were neglected because their children admire them too much. The whole family had a big laugh about my experience, but Evelyn was tickled pink about the watch band, so she didn't mind. I don't think. Yes, I'm afraid I do have one in the service in the Navy, one that I am indeed proud of. Can you blame me? I'm afraid I almost gave up my freedom entirely. However, Evelyn doesn't know about this, so please don't ever mention it to her. It all seems like a dream now, one that I am glad didn't come true. I think it was more sympathy than anything. I shouldn't be telling you this because you would probably never believe me anymore. However, someday, maybe I'll tell you the whole story, if you'd like me to. I was only being a true friend to someone who needed it at that time. I didn't feel I was capable of falling into the picture as a stepmother, and eventually the whole responsibility becoming mine. Not that I wouldn't accept it under fair conditions, but I'm afraid that he didn't come up to my ideal of what a father should be. Of course, he was really a nice person, but when things weren't all right, sometimes I could see too many weaknesses that weren't necessary and that could be avoided. I couldn't help but compare you two. So you see what your picture meant in a way. However, when I can talk to you, I'll make you understand without a doubt that everything was fair and square. He says my friendship means as much to him as ever and that he understands my feeling as I do. I hope that you too will understand because it would hurt me an awful lot if you thought I did something that wasn't right. I know I'll never be sorry, though. It just wasn't meant to be. Something held me back, and it must have been you. I had not had your picture so long, but I'd feel lost without it. Now, you should see the maid dusting her boys, you and Roy. I must write up my reports. Don't hesitate to give me your opinion. Love, Pat. May 13th, 1942. Hello, sweetheart. I received your sweet letter this morning and was glad to hear from you. Your letter came yesterday, but that was my day off, so I was not here to get it. I went over Wednesday night and stayed with Jack and Dee. his wife, and I did not come back until early this morning, Friday. I will admit that had I been here and got it, that I would have had a much better time. That is just how much your letters mean to me. I wish I could get one from you on Mondays and also the one I get on Thursdays. That would make the day and week start off with a happy thought on my mind about someone, and then it will make the days and weeks seem not so long. Could that be arranged for me? Darling, I would appreciate a large picture of yourself. I'll get a frame for it and put it on my locker door so that I can see you quite often. It may be where we cannot see each other in person for quite some time, but we can look at the picture and look forward to that day we can be together, which I hope won't be long off. I don't know yet whether I should tell you this or not, but anyway, I might just get leave in about 2 more months, and if I do, you can bet your boots that I will be up that way. But let's don't plan on it now, darling, for every time I make a plan, it seems that something happens to break them up. Let's just hope and trust that I will be able to get it. Keep your fingers crossed for me, and maybe that will help. I won't be able to come in my car, as you know. That is a ration on gas now, but can get around some other way, can't we? The little cartoon you sent is right cute, but I will tell you this, and that is, it is untrue in my case. I don't go with anyone here in Jacksonville, and I don't expect to either for a long while at least. I did go with one up to last October, but haven't since. Someday I will tell you all about her. I went to see a swell baseball game Wednesday night and a nice time. Do you like to go to baseball and football games? I really enjoy them. After the game, Jack and I went bowling, and I think it was the worst that I have ever done. All those of us who went last night did pretty good. How good of a bowler are you? Maybe someday I can teach you a little about fishing and hunting. I know you would like it. It is a lots of fun, especially when you're having pretty good luck. Would you like for me to teach you in some things? I'm a pretty good teacher, although I have never tried to teach anybody to fish. I believe I could teach you if you are willing. I am glad you told me about this other fellow. I think I can understand your position, and I can't blame you a bit. That makes me like you that much more, to think that you were willing to stake your happiness at making someone else happy. I'm glad I sent my picture as quick as I did, but I hope you will never regret it. I also hope Evelyn hasn't made me too big that I can't live up to them, for I don't want to be a disappointment to you. Thanks for thinking of me as your hero. I like that. Maybe someday I can be a real hero for you. So you think I would make a good father? Thanks. I think if I ever have a son or daughter that they will be nice because I hope to give them the kind of home they will need, and that is a Christian home. I'm not worried about the mother, for I am sure she will be a Christian girl and will make a good, understanding mother. I think parents should be more than just a mother and a father. They should be a pal, one that the children will not mind coming to for advice about anything. Isn't this right? Well, darling, as this is all the news I can think, I will say so long for a while. Love, Jimmy. So you remember in that letter, Pat asked about a lost postcard or letter where she was asking for his mother's address. This is it. I guess it finally showed up. It says, how's about sending me your mother's address by return mail? I have a cute little picture of a sailor looking at his mother who is on a lounge. He's saying, oh, for a girl like you in every port. It's a sweet thought that I knew you wouldn't have time to send. With no name, she'll know who it's from, or should. Of course, only with your approval will I do it. Always, Pat. Tuesday, 3 a.m., May 18th, 1942. Dear Jimmy, I went to town yesterday and got the picture, but I'm not satisfied because it's too light. Evelyn said that I looked plumb peaked. Ha. I'm going to have it darkened, and then it'll be coming your way. I was really disappointed because I thought at least I can keep my promise of so long. I'm sorry, but I think you would agree with me. As I came up on the porch this morning, I couldn't see anything but a magazine, and you can imagine how I felt. But when I unfolded it, I found a letter for Evelyn from Roy, and the most important one from you. You should have seen us two sitting up in the middle of the bed reading our letters. A cute sight we were. I told Evelyn that my week would be complete when I got my day off and a letter from home. So you see what those letters on Monday mean. Evelyn was at home today with an awful bad cold and will probably be off again tomorrow. I'll get off at 7 a.m. Wednesday and go back at 3 p.m. Thursday. I work Thursday and Friday, 3 to 11, then go back at 11 to 7 Saturday night. I rather enjoy it like that because of the change. Next week, it will be changed a bit. Jimmy, I'm glad that you get away from the station on your day off, because I imagine it gets rather monotonous after days of it. Really, I would love for you to be stationed near, and then Evelyn and I would be the perfect hostesses and be proud of the opportunity. Lovely thought, isn't it? Gee, but your possibility of getting leave is one of the nicest things I've heard in ages. With hopeful fear, I'll be looking forward to it. I only hope you'll be here when I have some time off. Maybe you love to just walk and chat as much as I do. My happiest moments have been just strolling along. After all, a car to me means nothing but a long trip, which of course we wouldn't be taking. I know your mother would be glad to have you home for a while. I admire you so much more for the way you feel towards her. She must be a wonderful person. I would love so much to meet her, and so would Evelyn. The little cartoon was such a temptation, but really I was only kidding. I think it's nice to have lots of friends of both sex. Of course, you don't need to be serious. I must admit that since I've been on this job, that I've been so busy that I haven't gone out as much as usual, but it's been all my fault. I'm usually the jolly type that likes to pull pranks and laugh a lot. I can accept them just as easily, thank goodness. You give me more confidence in myself when you feel as you do about my problems. You are so understanding. If Evelyn had not told me anything about you, I would have almost known the type of person you are from your letters and picture. It seems that there is so much that I would love to talk with you about. That is one reason this letter meant so much, because I hesitated about mailing the other letter and was tempted to tear it up and write another. I know I would never be disappointed in you because you're not that type of person. Heroes to me are not a person performing one particular deed of heroism, but just living a life so clean and beautiful that only a superior gentleman can rightfully criticize. Even then, only with years of experience. So you're going to be sure of the mother of your children, are you? That only seems wise, but there are so few of those really that if you do reach disappointment, I hope you won't ever know it. Seems strange that we have known each other such a short while, and yet we're like old friends. No one would understand our letters but us, which makes our friendship even more beautiful to me. Life can be beautiful, can't it? Well, dear, I've got to write up my reports. I'll be looking forward to Monday. Until then, love, Pat. P.S. One of my deepest thoughts is making you happy. If this is it, then I'll do my bit. Just wait and see. Love, S.C.P. Sarah Catherine Patterson. May 22nd, 1942. Dearest Pat, how are you feeling now that the week is nearly over? Or maybe I should say it the other way, as it will be starting all over again when you get this letter. I hope my letters will continue to mean a lot to you and help start the week off right. It will be hard for me to ever tell you what yours have meant to me, and therefore I will not attempt to do so in writing, but will tell you when I see you in person. That is, if you would care to know. I guess that would be too swell to expect to be stationed in the same town as you and Evelyn live in and have you as a hostess. Right now, I can't think of nothing that would be as nice as that. I know I would enjoy it and would do everything to see that you were successful in being a good hostess. Maybe someday you will have that chance. Wonder what the results will be. Ha. I'm sorry to hear that your picture did not turn out as good as you hoped for. I hope they will be better when you go back for them. Gee, but you will owe me a lot of interest on them, as you are way overdue, and I believe that is the custom, isn't it? When something is overdue, there's generally interest added to it. I don't know what it will be, though, for no money is involved. We will have to figure that out later, how you may make it up to me. Ha ha. Darling, I was serious about the cartoon, for I thought it was cute. That used to be true in my respect when I was in before, but as I stated in my last letter, it is not true now for several reasons. And when I am able to see and talk with you and tell you all about it, you will understand, not being serious now, either, just facts. I'm quite a big tease myself, and if you could have been here in this office the other day, you would realize it. In fact, it came nearly getting me in Dutch, But I guess it was worth it, for I laughed for an hour, and so did the other fellows. I like to laugh and have a good time. I bet you two were really a cute sight, sitting up in bed reading mine and Roy's letters. I would have liked to walk in with my camera and got a snap. Boy, would I prize them. I haven't heard any more about the leave situation yet, and I guess it will be a week or two before I will know for sure. I can say that the officer in charge of our office is in favor of it. Darling, in case I do get to come up, is there some place around there close that we can go hiking and take some motion picture? I have a small motion picture camera and it takes real good pictures. I think that would be lots of fun, and then later on in life, I could look back over them and see what I looked like in my young life. Then, too, our great-great-grandchildren might want to see what their grandparents looked like. Let's see you pull a better one. Ha ha. I bet he never imagined YouTube seeing what they looked like. Here's some good wisdom from Uncle Jimmy. So you think the type of girl I like is scarce. Well, it sometimes looks that way, but I do believe there are plenty of them. The way some of them act, boys also, you would think that most of the nice things the young people used to possess has disappeared, but it hasn't. It does hurt me sometimes, though, to see them that are so young start out like they do, but boil it down, and most of the time you will find that the older people are to blame. Think it over and see if I am not right. I have met several that was the type, and I believe before long I will have the chance of meeting another one that I have grown to like within just a few short weeks. No, I haven't met her yet, but I have heard a lot about her, and in fact, I have received 1 or 2 letters from her. She has a pretty name and writes a real interesting letter. I will let you read one some day if you would like. I know 2 of her friends really well, and they are swell people. Thanks for feeling the way you do about making me happy. I admit that you have done more than you will ever realize. Well, darling, as this is all the news, I will say so long for a while. Quote, Barry Wood, Hit Parade. Love, Jimmy. So long for a while. Let's all the songs for a while. So long to your hit parade and the tunes that you pick to be played. So, what did you think? Do you think she will ever get him the picture? Those will be in the next video, which, I mean, you've probably seen her picture, but he has not. They have been talking for 5 months at this point, and she's had a picture, and he has not. And I just think it's so sweet, but I relate so much, that nervousness. I actually met my husband online, and there's this, I mean, we had pictures, and I was still nervous. So, like, I can't imagine the build up of hoping that he thinks you're beautiful and him wondering what she looked like. It's just all underlying all these letters. So I hope you enjoyed. I will be back hopefully a little bit sooner. I've already started on the next video, so maybe by early next week I'll have the next set with Pat's pictures. See you soon. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We're living in that vintage street.